皆さん、こんにちは。久しぶりですね. Hi everyone. I realize it's been a really long time since I've published a video and I do apologize about that. But I have been pretty maxed out. I am actually filming from the UK, from Wales, in my parents' home where Rio and I are staying. It's rainy outside and finally I found myself with nothing really to do today. So I thought I would make this video and just check in with you, telling you a little bit about what's going on, but most importantly, some of the massive culture shocks that I've had coming back to my own country after living in Japan for such a long time. Just briefly about our visit then, which may surprise some of you. My son and I have come to the UK for 2 whole months. This is a really, really long time, especially to be without my husband. But the purpose for this visit was to be able to relax and enjoy quality time with various friends and family members around the UK. I'm basically splitting my time between London, where I have a lot of friends and family members, then Bath, which is probably one of the most beautiful towns in the UK, and also Bristol, which is not far from Bath, and then Swansea, which is my hometown. All of them. Hello.
Mommy.
Yes.
Mommy. Doing.
Mummy's doing a YouTube video.
Mommy. We do.
Yes. Rio is doing really, really well, but I'll be honest.
Why?
You're doing really well, yes. But I'll be honest, flying 15 hours on an aeroplane with a busy 2.5-year-old was quite a lot for mummies. He's adapted really well, not just moving countries, but moving between all these different areas that we've visited and responding really, really well to these family members. Hi. I think one of the reasons as well that I didn't update my YouTube channel is because it has just been so intense being the full-time carer and also not just doing the normal day-to-day caring, but also just like being the only consistency in a world that's changing for him. Do you want to see? Minasan. Minasan. Yeah, I think this exposure has been really good for him in terms of his development and flexibility, being in lots of different environments. I think it's also nice for him to spend time with different British-based family members because we don't live very near, so it's nice to really have this time between them. Have you been enjoying the UK? So I was just going to tell Mina-san that there have been some culture shocks. Mina-san, yes. Okay, as I was trying to say, I think one of the biggest culture shocks or culture differences is the way that people are. So yeah, anyway, will I ever make this point? The general manners of people here, it's very loose, it's very easygoing in comparison to Japan, where everything is very structured and polite. And in Japan, there feels like there's a little unspoken rule or expectation for like everything. I don't mean that as a criticism at all. I feel it's actually very comforting a lot of the time, but it was just a little bit of a surprise for people to be so loose. I traveled for 15 hours. I mean, like all in all, I didn't sleep for like 30 hours. So not sleeping at all and being sort of in charge with a very busy toddler, it was intense. And so when I got off the airplane, when we landed in London, I was about to go through immigration. I was trying to figure out which lane to go in, and the man telling people where to go, he was like, you go this way. And I was a little bit taken aback by the directness of his sentence. It sounded a bit like, get in that line over there. I think what he meant was like, you can go in the travelers with babies section, which would be less of a queue anyway. And so he meant it as a helpful gesture, but it wasn't said with that kind of like omotenashi or like really polite customer service that is just so standard in Japan. Probably my face looked quite shocked. Not necessarily because it was shocking, but you know, I'm tired, I'm trying to register what I'm doing, am I doing something wrong? And he actually said to me, he was like, oh, I thought I said the wrong thing then. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't really see properly because I'm so tired. And I feel like I've already offended someone. I haven't even left the airport. Anyway, That sounded kind of negative. I don't mean it in a negative way. It's actually really friendly, really connected. I don't know if any of you have been overseas. Have you experienced that difference between the culture being really loose and friendly as opposed to like well-mannered and polite as most Japanese are? Do let me know in the comment section. I'll give you another example. We were walking past a famous supermarket and it was the end of the day, they were closing, and there was a box of flowers outside it. And my dad was like, "Are you throwing those out?" And the delivery people who were like bringing in the new stuff and taking out the old stuff, they were like, yeah, you can take them if you want. And we were like, okay, cool. But for me, I was like shocked because like this is a big box of beautiful flowers. To me, they look lovely, but I think maybe they were not like the level to be able to be sold. But regardless, like I just don't think that would happen in Japan. I don't know. Again, please leave comments on any of my points, but it was a very nice surprise because both my sister-in-law and I got some beautiful flowers for our homes, but just that looseness was extremely surprising for me. On the topic of flowers, flowers are so cheap here. I mean, most things in the UK are expensive. Flowers are extremely cheap. I bought my sister a beautiful, huge bouquet of peonies. They were stunning and they weren't from a cheap shop. They were £13, £13, which is like 2,600 yen. I mean, incredibly cheap and like a huge, beautiful bouquet. In my experience in Japan, flowers are generally a lot more expensive. Another culture shock is the weather. I mean, like, you know, British people and Japanese people both love talking about the weather. I'm currently filming at the start of June and the weather went from heat wave, I think it was 36 degrees in London last week, to now being raining, it's cold, and we're just having this sort of lazy day. So that was also a surprise because I feel like in Japan, again, like kind of like the culture of the people, it's like there are structured times when it's the rainy season and it's the typhoon season and it's the hot summer humid season. So I am surprised by how we can go from almost a Japanese level of summer to British summer. No, like sort of rainy 15 degrees kinds of days. Nevertheless, we're enjoying, and the beautiful thing about my hometown is that it is extremely green, so the rain is going to help with that, I'm sure. But I am secretly hoping for the sun very soon. Somewhat relating to the weather is people's clothes. I mean, of course, not everybody does this, but I think during the warmer weather, we as Brits, and many Europeans, I think, there is a correlation between how hot it is and how little clothing is worn. There is a lot of skin showing, shall I just say it like that? And I've become used to covering up a lot more, especially as a woman. There are certain areas that you just don't show in public. What you wear behind closed doors is a different story, but when you're walking out and about, this area is generally covered. That is not the case in the UK at all. Some very surprising sights, but that's just the way it is here, and people are less conservative, far less conservative when it comes to clothing. I tried on a few clothes today in the shop where I went, and I tried on a few more like Western style, you know, V-neck things. I liked the dress or the top, but I just wouldn't wear them in Japan. It's just not appropriate. I mean, there are so many things that I want to say, but on my last, I'm going to keep it relatively short. On my last topic is shopping. And it's these culture shocks come in ways that you don't consciously notice them until you're in that situation and you think, oh, where's that little thing? Or like, why is it like this? When I tried on the clothes, I went into the fitting rooms, pulled back the curtain, and you just wear your shoes into the cubicle. Like, in that situation, do I take my shoes off or do I keep my shoes on as I'm trying things on? I don't know. It's just those little kind of things where you go in and you kind of go to take your shoes off, but there's no line saying no shoes. There's just, you just wear your shoes anywhere. There's less of that forbidden shoe thing, but I've noticed actually that my son, when we go into a house, he automatically goes shoesies off because he's built that understanding of like, we don't wear shoes in the house. Another difference I noticed was there was no bag given to me to put over my head. Any men watching this, I'm not sure if you know this, but in Japan, if you try an outfit on or a top or whatever, they will give you a little bag that is designed to put over your head so that you don't get your makeup on the clothing. It makes complete logical sense, but when someone hands you a bag to put on your head, I at first did not know how to take that. It was a very sort of surreal, strange experience. That was a culture shock in Japan. It wasn't a shock that I didn't get a bag, but it was more just sort of like, oh yeah, that doesn't happen in any other country. After I finished my clothing shop, I went off to a supermarket called Tesco. If any of you have been to the UK, you will know Tesco probably very well. And I went in, I bought a few bits and bobs, including some tuna steaks. My dad loves cooking, so I thought I would buy some tuna for tonight. And like, this is something I think you only understand if you have lived in Japan. I self-checked, because everything here is self-checking and everything here is card, not cash. Nobody uses cash anymore. Anyway, I checked my stuff, and as I was packing them in my bag, I automatically looked for, you know, those little clear bags to put your shopping in case they leak or spill or anything like that. There is nothing like that. I had my new clothes in one bag and this tuna steak, and I'm like, do I put my tuna steak, which might leak, onto my new clothes? Like, it was just that little kind of like, oh yeah, this doesn't happen here. And I'll be honest with you, neither culture I feel is like right or wrong. It's just very different. And I do feel really grateful to have that exposure to both cultures. And I find it fun. I find these little culture shocks really fun. Like, my brother was laughing at me about the flowers and being so shocked that we could take free flowers. I think it's very enriching, and I'm happy to experience it myself. I'm also really happy that Rio can have the expansion of understanding around different cultures and different ways of doing things. Well, thank you very much for watching. As I said in my last video that I published, I am open to accepting students. So for anyone who is interested in learning English with me, or just practicing your English, whatever level you're at in your English, do feel free to send me an email. My email address is in my homepage. Feel free to email me if you want to schedule a one-to-one session, either online or in person. ありがとうございました。また今度。ありがとうございます。またね。